Welcome to Isis in the Bible, Fall Gathering, week number 3, Metu Neter Serket. The question today is, what causes a throat to swell? When we hold back truth, speak in distortion, or consume what lacks love, our throats respond. Serket, the scorpion goddess, aka Antares, one of the 4 royal stars, one of the 4 watchers, one of the 4 gateways. She arrives to heal, awakening the serpent within and guiding us to cleanse the voice, the word, the breath, the waters. Glad you could join us today. If you recall, the canopic shrine is a reminder that Serket, which is that royal star Antares in Scorpio, this is important to know for medical astrology. So we're going to get into examples here. We're showing you that these exact alignments causes injury to the throat. So why do you think we as Egyptians created these timeless pieces? Because we love unconditionally, infinitely. It's our guide back to the blissful pure waters. So Scorpio is across from Taurus on the zodiac, which is the throat. When your throat needs a cleanse from improper, non-loving use of the throat, i.e. how we use our voice, put non-loving foods that we eat in it, like GMO foods, then we cleanse. The waters will flow out of you, influenced by the stars. If you look at Taurus, or house 2, because this goes back, so Taurus is where you're born, houses is from previous lives. It's the ear, nose, and throat. So like you said, Peggy, yes, they're all related. So you go see an ear, nose, and throat specialist, right? Well, they're all connected, and it's all Taurus energy. That's where that comes from. Specifically, the throat is Algol, and the ear is Alcyone, and I have not figured out what is nose yet. Algol is in Perseus, which is above Taurus, and the ear is Alcyone, which is in Taurus, the constellation. So Algol, 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 Golgotha, same linguistic seed of Gol. So it's all out there. Gol, Gul, Gol means the skull, a circle, a skull place, as in Golgotha, place of the skull. It means where the head sits. So that's Taurus, your throat. That's where the head sits, right? So this is also in the story where Perseus slays the head of Medusa, right? So I was influenced by the stars. I'm going to get into what happened earlier this week, but on Sunday, Justin was there. So when I got home from Unity at 5:06 p.m., I felt my throat. I felt, oh my God, look at this. I just got nailed at something. It's like something's coming upon me. So right at that exact time, the moon was aligned Algol, and that's the throat. And I know it's the throat now because I got several reasons, and I went and looked at a bunch of charts already from other people. So the moon hit it, and I thought, oh, that's starting. And of course, I went and looked at my natal chart, and aligned with Ceres, and Ceres is what? The harvester, which can also harvest the neck, right? So my north node is also in the square with Algol, and Ceres is also transiting Algol. So we have these in my chart, so that's where I went to go and look. So it really hit me hard on the day of the full moon. So the full moon was supposed to be exactly at 11:47 p.m., all right? And that's where we had this Algarab, Alpharats. This is not related, but this is different. This is the one where he said, this full moon shines a spotlight of truth and freedom Algorab and Alpharet. So this was a beautiful alignment that day. On October the 6th, on that day, this is the chart. Because this is in worldview. Remember, this is where the sun rises, the sun sets, south and north. So this was in worldview. In other words, this is not specific to me. So now when I went and looked here, at over top of us in Windsor, the north node, which don't forget, that's the eclipsing node, was at the midheaven and the moon. So people in Windsor really felt this, at least I did. Remember that the north and south node is that which eclipses the sun and the moon. So it was very, very strong energy. So while I was sleeping, because then I woke at 12:30, which I'll get to, which is right here. So at 12:30 a.m., I woke and man, I had pain I could barely breathe. My lungs were full. There's a heat in there. I coughed, pain in my throat, pain in my lungs. And right at that time, 12:30, look who was on the midheaven, Neptune, pain. So it's happening. It's all there. So these are energies that are clearing you. And then for 2 days in a row, I just showed today's. I'm feeling okay. Next thing you know, bang, it hits me and everything starts flowing. Well, Taurus was setting along with Algol setting. All right. So exactly that time, 2 days in a row, when Algol Taurus is setting, all the symptoms start coming larger. And what's happening? Taurus is now going into the underworld, which is the waters from underneath. And here comes all the water out. All right, because this is dry during the day when the sun's out. And when it comes underneath there, it's wet. So this is all there. So this is where, remember, we got to read the cardinal points, because the cardinal points are the top of the chart, the east, the west, and the bottom of the chart. So why do I insist on keep showing you these beautiful energetic truths? Because nothing is happening to you. It's happening for you. Something is leaving your body. Like I said earlier in the chat before we started, there's things happening with my body that are releasing during this cleanse that are absolutely invigoratingly beautiful. So it's a cleanse. It's beautiful. It's meant to be. It's influenza influenced by the stars. So it is all about influence by the stars. Algol is specifically linked to slaying the untruth. Okay? Slaying of the untruth. We've always had this there. This is what the common consensus is of what Algol means. Slaying of the untruth, overcome Medusa or Lilith's temptations. That's Perseus, that's the throat. Again, slaying the head of Medusa. Again, Algol is what causes the throat to be in jury. Get it? Injury. In judgment, in the way we use our throat words, but also is across from Scorpio. So on the afternoon of the day of the full moon, before that night when I had that major cleanse, a friend I've not seen in almost a year showed up and she told us that she has visions of Sekhmet. And I looked at her chart because I did her chart before, and she has very strong Lilith in her chart. She did a sage burning smudge cleanse on our body with our arms out, you know, like you suppose it dying on the cross, right? Lilith's home is Scorpio, and that's the image of Serket. So with Lilith retrograding over my natal chart, this is a huge wake-up call for me from my past lives, 100%. I know exactly what it means, and it means the big head and the little head, the throat, all of it has to be in line. So you just can't make this stuff up. It's absolutely beautiful. So again, because the Taurus is the ear, nose, and throat, and Scorpio is the reproductive organs, the bladder, and of course the phallus, and the woman's vagina. It's all there. That's what this means. So it's how we behave with all the functions of our body parts that we got to use them in divine truth. So the throat becomes a portal of healing when we speak divine truth, and the reproductive organs are not what you think they are for. So we'll talk about more of this on another day. So Serket stands as the divine sentinel of purification, guardian of the sacred threshold between death, setting in the west, and rebirth, rising in the east, truth and illusion. With her scorpion crown, she guides us through the Scorpio-Taurus polarity, where Taurus, the throat, governs expression, consumption, and manifestation, and Scorpio, the womb of transformation, demands truth, abstinence, and renewal. When we misuse our voice, suppress our truths, or ingest what is non-loving, whether in food, words, or thought. Serket, through the influence of Algol and Lilith, initiates a cleanse. Lilith tempts, Algol exposes. The injury in the throat becomes a call for healing, and it is Hygeia working in harmony who delivers the Kundalini cleanse, a full body vibration awakening that purging, non-loving energy, and restores sacred flow. That's what the waters, when your nose is flowing, everything's flowing, it's getting rid of muddy, emotal waters. So Serket's sting is to purify, which is Antares. Okay, that's the royal star in Scorpio. Ensuring that the serpent of wisdom rises through a crystal clear channeling, guiding us back to love, sovereignty, and the voice of divine truth. So P.S. Charles James Kirk's wings, I went back and looked at his chart because Vesta was there, protector of the truth, and his Icarus was tied to Algol. Icarus is your wings. The use of his words were his wings that burned because of his use of the right to bear arms. We have to be really careful what we're using our voice. And when you have a major crowd listening to you and you're trying to tell them non-loving things to do, that's when you leave the visible. So I made this little picture up with the help of AI. The right to bear arms around me is the peaceful, loving hug that spirit will only allow. So remember, how you use your voice and how it behaves is a measure of your waters. Use only loving words as much as you can. Learn to speak the truth. There is only one truth. And if it doesn't sound like unity, aka love, then it's not the truth. And that's all we have for today.